Hello, this is Anice from Funky Hand, and this technique video is to show you how to make a 3D flower from the templates you'll find on our CD-Rom, Wishes and Kisses. Okay, so this is how the large flower template prints out, and I think it's time to cut across to the Wishes and Kisses workspace just to show you how to get it to be able to print out.
So here we are in the Wishes and Kisses CD-ROM. When you first open it, this is how it will look. We're on the papers section. Now for these 3D flowers, I use the Hey Baby Girl collection. So we're going to just click on that in the collection section. And then we're going to go and find the paper that we want to use. There's lots of papers to choose from, but the one that I actually used for this is the one of the plain collection. Now the next thing to do is to send it to the workspace. So I'll just click send, and then we'll pop to the workspace, and there it is. Now to get to the templates, you just have to go onto the template section and click, and there you'll see all the different templates, and the template that we want to use is the large flower template. Now all you need to do is just hover over it as we are here, pull it over, drag it over, and there you go. There it is, loaded. So all you need to do now is press print, and your printer will take over. Okay, that's getting it out of the Wishes and Kisses CD-ROM. Let's get back to
Okay, so now you know how to put together the template. What I'm going to show you is how to make the flower. I've actually printed this template just on one side because that's my choice, but also, as you can see, it's just printed on 80 GSM printer paper. Obviously you might want to use different paper, but it's great to be able to just try out different techniques. So on the paper there are actually two flowers. So there's 3 large flowers and 1 small one, and so as you can see here, what I've done is I've cut out the other flowers, and all I'm going to do, I'm not going to bore you, I'm just going to show you how I've cut out the flowers. This is the small inner flower, okay, and it's very simple. Now this flower doesn't need to be, well, in my opinion, doesn't need to be, for this technique, cut out beautifully, perfectly. It can be a little bit messy. It can be, because the way I'm going to create this flower is a bit grungy looking. But if you wish to use it in different ways, I know my design team have used it on card and use it in different ways, so you can really play around with this. But this is, when I designed this flower, this is how I thought about using it, but it's not the only way you can use it. Okay, so this is the last of the petals. So there you are. There's the inner flower, and now this is where the fun part starts, because how I actually make my flowers is I screw them up. It's great fun. Okay, I screw them up as tight as I can. You can give them a roll on your hand and screw it up as much as possible. Now, what I'm going to do is that's the small inner flower. I'm going to do that for a little while, and I'm going to bring in the other. These are the larger ones, and I did these earlier, so you didn't have to be too bored. And then open them up. But when I say, you don't have to be too gentle with them, I don't think, because that way you can get them. They get a bit. As you can see, I just ripped that a bit. They get a little bit more grungy, a little more creased up, and just open them up. Okay. Ooh, tore that one. Maybe a little too much, but we'll see. And you can decide on how creased you want them. Sometimes you'll open them up and you don't think they're creased up enough, and you can get creasing a little bit more. Okay. So I'm nearly done with the 3 bottom flowers, petals. Okay. Right. So there's the 3 bottom ones, and oh, that is nice and grungy. Then you just choose which one you'd like to use as the bottom. So I think this is quite flat, and then it's very simple. You just use a little bit of wet glue and get the next flower and pop it so that it's not square to the first part. So the other flower petals lay on top, and they're not that. So I always use wet glue so you can move them around a bit, just for at least for the first few seconds. And then the third petal, we'll just glue on top of there. Obviously you'll take a little more time over this because I'm doing this for a demonstration video. And while we're waiting for that to dry, I'll open up the one that we just cut out, which is the smaller of the 4. This is quite fun, actually. I like making things that are a little bit more grungy. I mean, obviously having beautiful little roses, etc., is great, but it's also nice to have a little bit of messiness as well. Okay, and we're going to bring that back, and we'll put a little more glue on the centre. And then we'll put our final flower, the smaller one, on. And once that is adhered, just give it a couple of seconds. There you go. There's the beginnings of your 3D grungy flower. Now, there's lots of things that you can do with this. Obviously, you can mess with it until it's got the right shape that you want. Perhaps get your dried up ink pad and give it a little grunginess. I mean, you could even do that before you've stuck them down. You could, if you wanted to, you could use your pro markers and draw around each of the edges of each of them. Once you've got it how you want to, then if you prefer to perhaps put a centre into it, you could perhaps put a button in it. I've actually made another flower yesterday, and here's the flower that I made yesterday. And what I've actually done in the middle is use some wire and some beads to make a few stems. But I mean, really, once you've got the shape of the flower, it's up to you what you do with it, and it's great fun. They are also, if you've looked at our exploding box technique video, you'll find that it will actually sit lovely on top of it, so it can be a decoration for on top of your exploding box as well.